Now we are live.
Hello and welcome back. Those of you who joined us during our hour-long show, this is our little follow-up, a little informal time to chit-chat, talk about what we've learned, what we heard, ask questions, just relax a little bit. Have a beer.
Find the main session here, the wisdomfactory.net, and then / Miriam Van Groen. It is written Groen.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Right. And so at the moment, we're here with Miriam and nobody else has shown up yet. And we can just kind of digest what we did.
Yeah.
Ask questions that we wanted to ask earlier, but didn't. Whatever.
Yeah, this space is a little bit more, at least in my conception, a little bit more informal.
Yeah.
So, I try to be the moderator in the other section. Here we can do what we want. And I try to keep people on the topic and things like this.
She's now the immoderator.
That sounds a much better title.
Okay.
Who wants to start?
I don't know.
Normally, we give a sort of an impression which we had from the session, and then we can continue also to talk.
I didn't really have any concerns about how the show would go. I felt quite confident that we'd be able to just really talk to each other in an intelligent way and have a good time and not be terribly concerned about a lot of formality, that this is a really, this is conversation, It wasn't a lecture and wasn't anybody trying to be,
Yes.
Let
me lecture you about this thing that I am an expert in.
It's so fun. And it lived up to those expectations very nicely. Is there anything I didn't expect? Well, I think Miriam was very gracious and managed to give us compliments along the way, and that was appreciated, not necessarily expected, but most welcome. That's nice.
I could chime in here because it was, I noticed this. We are normally, when we are the host, we are here to create the setting of welcoming and that people can open and everything. And I noticed that you were collaborating in that.
Yeah.
That you were also host in some way. To create the space where a conversation was happening. At a certain moment, I thought, "Oh, good, I'm not alone."
Yeah, you felt. Peers, that's not exactly the right word, but just talking among friends.
Yeah, and it was not anymore, one of, as you said, not a lecture and things. And I wanted also to say that I think what we are trying to do is, after the first episodes we have done about 3 years ago, where I was still tight and who knows if what happens and things, that we want to create a space where people can feel well and where things can emerge. The problem with this is that some people think in such a situation, nothing really important happens, As an example, I can tell you when I had the choir in Rome, and I was very much concerned about the well-being and the joy. And then there were some people of old school who thought we don't learn anything because I didn't shout and I didn't hold lectures and I didn't do all these things because I relied in the emergence of the things. And the concerts were always perfect, And I think it is here the same thing. We are still conveying content, but not in this lecture.
Moment.
Yeah, exactly. And there are some people who don't appreciate that because it's not perfect enough. And we, as recovering perfectionists,
I love that. See how similar we are?
There's a 12-step program for that.
Yes.
Anyway.
I might actually write the book about that one.
oh, good.
I want to.
I don't know if you noticed me playing here. I was not playing with my wife. This is actually our dog.
Hi.
I'm very,
Cookie.
Yes, you can see.
yeah.
Is he it's not a black lab.
No, she is a
is
mixture
black,
between a setter and a collie, a border collie.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi.
And
What's her name?
yeah, yes.
Her name is Lucky because she is indeed very lucky.
Is she?
Chose us. Yeah.
Anyway, now we give Miriam the possibility to say something
Yeah.
Hmm.
if you want to.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what's kicking in right now is this part of my my perfectionism is the post-event hangover, where I start to go, oh, I could have talked about this thing and it would have been more alive if we mentioned that thing, and it's like I just noticed that going on, and I'm laughing about it a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, we want to talk to you about that. Yes.
Yes. Why did you not XYZ?
Oh yeah,
That's inevitable. But, if we're aware of it, we don't have to take it very seriously.
I just like it was genuinely just an interesting conversation and a good excuse, right? To just talk to each other for an hour.
Yeah.
yeah, and have others participate. I go really very much into this direction. Who wants to listen to it and listen? We are sort of, she wants to go out again,
Yeah.
sort of a soap opera, no? We talk about our lives, and I think that there are people interested to see that other people are normal people too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. This is the humanness of it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm thinking back, I didn't have the possibility to see people in an imperfect way or in a colloquial way. At least not people you would think 75-year-old. No.
Yeah, you're supposed to have it all figured out now, Mark. You know that?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing. Very perspicacious of you for someone your age. Yes.
Right.
Oh, bullshit. But these are I think these are archetypes that we have. No, that's not true, because in true archetypes there was real respect for the different roles that people were playing. But somehow I think,
every society has preferences for some roles over the other, yeah? I mean, the same goes for Enneagram, for instance. Like Western society has a preference for the 3, like for success-oriented.
At the moment, at least. No?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a 4, and I should go more into perfectionism, and probably I often was there.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily see it for me as the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, because then I get hard again,
Yeah. That's the thing with perfectionism. Not only is it unattainable, but it makes happiness unattainable.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. It's not good. So maybe I was thinking about, obviously a little about Enneagram.
Yeah.
No, when you go ahead in the then it is in stress.
Yeah.
When I go into stress, I go into 2.
2, yeah.
Help everybody.
Please let this be about you. Oh God.
Wonderful.
I have a 2 wing, so I know.
Yeah. And this is really tricky, no? And I mean, women have often this two thing all together, no? Where I sacrifice my life for you, and you, what are you giving?
What do you do?
Okay, I'll sacrifice too, all right?
Yeah, that's what we want, really. It's for you to sacrifice as much as we do.
And then it's all going down the hill, no?
Oh, gosh.
No, sorry.
I guess we'll just have to deal with that.
Yeah. No, I found it very interesting, the Enneagram study, to find out how our ego is working and to catch us, no?
Yeah.
As you say, you sometimes laugh about when the things come, and you do. And I think, okay.
But, well, there was a time when we couldn't laugh about it.
No. It's so serious.
Her age, we couldn't laugh about that.
Oh, God, things are terribly serious. Oh,
Yes, quite.
how come you're not serious anyway?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was very serious. I tried that until about the age of 27.
Yeah.
And then I thought, fuck this.
You see, the young generation is early with everything.
Yeah.
Yes. No, and especially as a one, one of the things ones do is make their own boundaries and their own rules and be very strict about them. Because they don't. One of the reasons could be because they don't get them from outside. So I had hippie parents who didn't give me a lot of rules, and I just became very strict and very judgmental and very, and relying on my intelligence a lot. Like that was my whole personality, or my whole idea of myself was smart.
Yeah.
Which you are, by the way.
Yeah, well, fortunately I can integrate, transcend and include. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but there was definitely some a pushback on that as well in the beginning. When I started circling, like there was a lot of like, oh no, this is thinking, this is mental, no, we can't have that, and that's of course also bullshit. Yeah, but as a one, I was very strict with myself and very perfectionistic, which is a Dutch, anyway. And I just didn't like myself that much, and I've started to integrate playing and being not as serious and allowing, like surrendering instead of control. But that's a practice. I mean, that groove is not as deep, so every once in a while I
fall in.
I fall into the deeper groove. It's still deeper.
And you had people around you to be able to do that, no?
Yeah.
When you are alone, it's so much more difficult.
It's almost impossible. You need community, and I very much needed people that saw me and that said, "Hey, that thing, are you doing it now?"
That thing.
Perchance.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah. It's very important. Mark Walsh, who I did the Purpose Black Belt training with, he said, "Is this me? Am I? There's a nice. I'm hearing static."
No.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep talking then. He said the three things you need for change is time, commitment, and community.
Community, sure.
And of course you need like insights, you need practice, blah, blah, blah. But the time and the commitment can give you the practice, but it'll still fall through if you don't have a community that is on a similar path, or that can hold you accountable, or that can hold you when stuff, falls apart. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think what I'm doing here is sort of community creating by internet, because we don't really have a big community around. We have about 4 or 5 people with whom we could talk.
That's about it.
That's about it, yeah. So no real group with similar interests and similar excitements, let's say.
They don't get excited about things we get excited.
No, when we talk about our integral stuff, except one couple, no?
Yeah.
Then they listen, and then it's over.
Yeah.
But I think this one, you know, you talked about it a bit, this curiosity and still wanting to learn is such an important factor in that. Like if you think that after retirement you're supposed to sit in Florida and that's it, then, you know, you're not gonna, there's not much that's gonna happen, and you won't meet new people that are interested in the same things because
they're not there.
You were saying 27. For me, when I was 27, I had also sort of an epiphany because my father died in this age. And I was married already for 7 years, and it was really, I should have gone away after 1 year. And then I came the moment when I said, if this is life, no. And then slowly I came into the idea of going to Italy, and from then the life started. It still took 4 or 5 years. But this was the moment when I said, if this is life, then it felt like ended. 27, you know.
Yeah. Oh man, that's painful.
And now it's not.
But what a beautiful realization. I mean, what if you'd waited another 5 or 10 years, you know?
Yeah. I'm grateful that I've done more or less everything myself without anybody. I mean, I went sometimes to a psychologist in university, and I had some sporadic people helping me a little bit, but not a community. And I had to do all the steps up to a certain time against the people around me. The separating was against, you know, and divorce and all these things. That was
Oh gosh, yeah, I moved to 28. then it fell apart for a good 10 years. It really did. The marriage ended, you know, career going nowhere. I'm just working at this and that to keep things together. It took a long time. But, and then there were some false starts, but things that served. Sobering up.
We learn
Alcoholics
from
Anonymous
everything.
put me into a new frame. Got me from red to blue.
That it does do that, though. Yeah. Very useful.
He thought he was green already, you know.
Oh, sure. I was in the 60s, so I must be green.
It must be, yeah. But there's like, it's integrating a lot of stuff. Like, if you don't integrate your stuff, it'll come out, yeah?
Oh, God. Really?
Have you never heard this before? Come on, Mark.
Oh, of course I have. I'm just waiting for it to come out. I hope you know?
I notice everything.
Right.
No, we are actually a sort of an internal, I don't want to say it, therapy group, but we have done quite a lot of work. He has given me a big, how do you say, let down, but help to become more real. Because he said, when I made errors, I had this perfectionism still, no? When making errors is horrible. And he told me, oh, good that you have done this error, because now you are human. And I was angry.
Like, no, it's not good. How can that be good?
Say this is good, and it is an error, and it's wrong, you know.
Yeah, I know that place. Oh, my. Yeah.
Of course, I'm very good at errors myself.
Yes, well, it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, practice. Tell us a little bit more, if you still have time, about you and what you're doing just now, and what your gains, your goals are. Also your gains.
Well, I will go and have dinner in a bit. But let's see. There's something about this. Could you mute yourself to see if that helps? Yeah, that's better. Interesting. So after a year in this burnout and the recovery, I started going back to school and working a little bit. But every time I came back, I just was drained. Like even 4 hours of work would just suck the life out of me. So I decided that I wasn't going to get better staying in that job and staying, having to reintegrate into the workforce in that job. So I got a sort of a contract where we mutually agreed to dissolve our relationship, which meant that they don't have to pay for me being sick, and I get unemployment benefits. Because if I would resign, I wouldn't get unemployment benefits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's a win-win. And so now, since the 1st of January, I am officially unemployed and mostly enjoying it, and sometimes going, like, I am not a useful member of society, help!
Exactly. Now you have to find your own schedules, your own reason for
create
being.
your own purpose.
Exactly. So the last from September through December, I did that Purpose Black Belt course, and I'm going to retake it actually with a few people, because we all agreed that it was so rich that we want another go at it.
Great.
And that's one of the things that I've learned as well, is that I don't have to get it the first time and be perfect. But I can go, that was interesting, and maybe if I do that exercise again with what I know now, I will see new things. So I see purpose not as this one thing, but as something that evolves with me. There's versions and versions and versions of it, which is another thing that I learned. So currently I am, moving more into doing circling workshops. I have tried out, a lot of these sessions, these one-on-one sessions that I do, and they're beautiful. And there are 2 people that I am creating a company with, and we're going to give workshops and also hopefully do consulting in firms that that just want to integrate green and up. I haven't thought of the technology. I'm just a follower. So I'm like, it's called Dreaming by and Andrew Venezia is the guy. He's an American living in Belgium, who through his practice, like kind of it evolved in him, this practice, and he's coaching me and we're working together. So I'm like supporting, because I believe in it so much. It's beautiful. It's like this shortcut to enlightenment, the things that he's doing. It's crazy, but with a very practical, like, we need to bring this into the world kind of, not be enlightened and that's it. No, use the 5th dimension, the universe folding in on itself, to actually create some good in the world. So I enjoy that very much, to be able to support him and his companion in that. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's organizing workshops and giving workshops and giving sessions. And applying for jobs.
We sometimes get the invitation for your workshops, but for coming over, that's and in Dutch you have too high prices.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah.
Well, speaking of prices, Austria costs more than Budapest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Vienna.
Are you planning
2 days more than Vienna? I want to very much.
Yeah.
But I'm on the fence, because actually I proclaimed this to be a workshop-free year.
Okay. No, but you don't have
do
to
any
do
work.
anything.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. It's just a gathering. It's not a workshop.
That's right. Yeah, it is. It's a tribal gathering.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the real plus,
attraction.
the real attraction, just to be with people you don't have to explain yourself to.
Yes. Yeah,
it's wonderful.
So maybe we meet there. We haven't decided yet. I still need to know some clarifications, how much extra costs I have to face, so to plan that, because it's not. We are in 2, so it's not really cheap. So, but I really like it. I liked both times in Budapest.
Yeah.
A lot. And the tours afterwards, it's really amazing. So I would like to go there too. We'll see. So at this point, I would say we stop the podcast.
Yes.
The experience is that after some days, there are some views, some people watch it afterwards. And I really, when you are one of the watchers, I really would invite you next time to come in and talk with us. Be not so shy. Our times need people who speak up. And here is a good way to practice it, you know. Nobody will kill you or attack you or something. You just can practice to be in camera and to be in public without fear.
Yeah, that's
good. Our
good
invitation. So we stop the podcast now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Next week.
Bye-bye.